cars feel and behave like 1950s cars. The same with like the weapons that you have available to you. You don't have mobile phones, for example, so how do we deliver objectives? There's lots of different challenges that make the gameplay quite unique. So, the whole historical aspect of the game is certainly something that's been interesting for us. Well, the soundtrack's big for a start. So, like, we've whittled down like a really long list of tunes, maybe, like 300 tunes, down to around about 120, 130 tunes. Now, like, the long list was collated from everyone. Everyone has their opinions. Loads of musos become involved, not just from the development team. Like, everybody has opinions and thoughts on what game should be, what music should be involved in the game. How we kind of whittled it down was, one, what music is iconic for the era? What is going to give players, what triggers in players' minds, like the 1950s? What are like iconic rock and roll tunes which are really going to make them feel like they're in the 1950s, for example? So like this was one thing, like, so choosing iconic music. But secondly was also like what music's going to reinforce the mood at key points in the game. So like when you're driving around the city, the car radio has like separate track lists. There's 3 different stations on the radio anyway, but each of them has a separate track list for each point in the game. So if it's a sad moment in the story, we want the music that's going to be playing on the radio when you're driving between shootouts or between different missions to kind of reinforce the mood. So like in a wintry backdrop, we have like Christmas tunes and like tunes that reference snow and things like this. But then in rock and roll era, in exciting moments, there's going to be, fast-paced rock and roll music. In sort of like mournful moments, there's going to be some slower-paced, more thoughtful kind of blues tunes, for example. These kind of things. So there's a wide variety of considerations we had to do to put the soundtrack together. But it's been fun. Like everybody, loves the music from particularly the 50s. So like that's been cool to work with. I'd hope not. I mean, we're not aiming to cause controversy with Mafia. I think that any content that you see in the game is on par with what you would see in a Mafia movie, for example. This has always been our goal. We're not looking for the game to be gratuitous or overly violent or contain like repulsive content. It's all about like really reflecting the life, the drama of life in the Mafia, which we think is a pretty valid subject matter, an interesting, compelling subject matter. But we've certainly not gone out there to create controversy or create gratuitous content.